40.
En los 40 estamos muy bien acompañados el día de hoy porque estamos conversando con Louis Tomlinson. Louis, how are you feeling today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Are you counting the days for the release of How Did I Get Here?
Yeah, it's like Christmas Day. I'm counting down every day. I'm itching to get it out now.
What are you most excited about this release next 23rd of January?
Things I'm obviously the obvious thing to say is I'm really excited for the fans to hear it. I'm really excited for them to hear what I've been working on. Um, but also it's always a nice feeling to get it out for the release. There's so much kind of tension built in the writing and, thinking forward to singles and all of that. And once it's out. And for me, that then means looking to tour. So, I'm excited about the feeling of that. Definitely.
What do you think the fans think about it?
I hope they'll like it. That'd be good. That'd be helpful. But hopefully they appreciate, where I've tried to take some risks, and where it differs from Faith in the Future. There's definitely a few songs that kind of act like the glue between the two records, but there's been 3 or 4 years between that and Faith in the Future, so it had to feel like an evolution, and hopefully it does.
Yeah, you described this album as the record you always deserve to make. What would you say is the main difference between this one and the past two?
I think just the way, well, a few different things. The way that I feel in myself and the confidence that I built up from the tour shows, but also some of the way of making the record was by design. I didn't want to I didn't want to have the time restraint. I wanted to really be able to take time with the record. So I think, yeah, because of that, it's allowed and also allow myself the time to make mistakes.
Yeah, and how do you think that will reflect in songs that you put in this album?
I think you can. I mean, I can certainly feel it. I think you can feel it in the songs. There's a lightness to some of the songs, and there's like um, some of the songs I think feel confident by nature. And it feels like a more positive album than I've put out before. Definitely.
How does your creative process work while writing a song?
I mean, it it depends person to person, but I had quite a small team on this record, so um, it'll often start with me kind of coming in with a concept or something that I want to talk about, something that I want to write about. Not always like that, but 9 times out of 10, it'll kind of, yeah, that'll be the inception point.
And another part of your work is also to choose the cover of the album, the music videos, and all the aesthetic around the record. How much do you involve yourself in these areas?
I'm a bit of a control freak with all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm massively across all of that. I wanted the whole thing, aesthetic included, for it to feel like a real like pivot from what I've done before. So it's a lot more colourful than what I've done before, but I wanted it to feel distinctly different.
If you could describe the album in 3 words, what would you say?
Um, Positive, um, honest, and reflective.
Interesting. You said that Palaces is a love song, an ode to Doncaster, your hometown. How do you think your hometown influenced your career?
Massively, like, everything that I do. I mean, the way that I write my lyrics, the way that I talk in interviews, um, the fact that I like to think that I'm pretty down to earth, given the life that I lead. It's just it's through, yeah, it's through like the core of me. Definitely, it's a big part of my identity and also my musical identity. So, yeah, it's throughout.
Well, in the track list of this album, there's a song called Imposter. So very well, it's a very powerful song title. What is it about? Can you explain a bit this song?
Yeah, it's a song mostly. I mean, or at least the inception point of it was about imposter syndrome and the whole idea of that, and we kind of stretched it metaphorically to like being like the idea of being the imposter in a relationship and kind of dealing with, all of those kind of feelings in a new relationship. But those kind of things I find, those kind of social things and psychology things I find really interesting anyway. So, and I like that it kind of feels, it's kind of got like a spooky kind of nature to the title. It's kind of intriguing. That'd be the one that if that probably one of the first tracks I listened to, I think, if I was a listener.
And what will be your three personal favorite songs of this record?
When it's this, when it's this, early on in the process, these three will keep changing for sure. But currently, I'll say Palaces, Sunflowers, and Lucid, I think.
Okay, okay. And why did you choose Lemonade and Palaces as your first two singles?
Lemonade was kind of like from when it was finished, it was kind of always the intention. I love the way that it starts, and it feels like, again, it is kind of a very obvious, feels very distinctly different to what I've done previously. So that was important with the first single. And it's got that kind of, that nice big sing along kind of chorus. Palaces is like, half to appease me and half because it's a great song, I think. But that is also the kind of song that I love listening to. I love performing. So I was always going to release that just regardless because it's the kind of song I love. And and then we'll also release Imposter as well, which yeah, again, I kind of had an idea early on that I wanted that to be a single. So yeah, it's a really exciting time.
In a recent interview, you mentioned that there's always more room to grow, especially in the name of art. And I think that's really beautiful. But how do you manage to keep growing in the name of art with your music?
I think um, it's there's probably a few different ways to answer that question. It's a little bit like how do you grow as a person? It's almost a metaphor for that. But I think like as a writer, there's so many different ways. But like being observant, being a good listener, being a good people watcher, is this you got to let life in and kind of watch what happens and be aware in those moments. So I think you can always challenge yourself to be a little bit more present like that.
Your last time in Chile was on May of 2024, and you visit us, Los 40, in April the same year. And both times I could see like the connection the fans have with you and your music and your art in general. So what message will you give to your Chilean fans?
Yeah, just a massive, massive thank you for the years and years and years of continued support and also the level, it's not just dedication doesn't really sum it up. It doesn't really do it justice. There's a true passion behind that dedication. So, yeah, just a thank you, a massive, massive thank you and can't wait to get over there eventually to tour for sure.
Yeah, we have the dates for the UK, Europe, and United States. Are you planning on announcing South America, Chile?
Some point. I don't know how soon, but it's obviously going to happen. That goes without saying. Yeah, I'm just teasing you guys.
I bet your fans are really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really special. Those live moments always are really special. So I'm excited.
Yeah. You have sung a few of One Direction songs also in your performance, like Night Changes or No Control. How does it feel to sing them like a solo artist now?
It's kind of cool to like reinvent them, like because I think No Control I did kind of similar. It was a little different, but it was kind of similar to the original. But like Night Changes is like a bit of a reinvention, and those things are kind of fun. It's kind of fun to try and make songs like that fit into the set that I currently do. And it's always a nice sort of throw to the fans. I think it's always a nice sort of sing along moment for everyone.
Will your fans can expect one of surprise songs of One Direction this tour?
I think so. How many I don't know, but I think so. The only problem now is I've got 3 albums to pick from, so the slots in the set list are a little bit more competitive than ever. So we'll see. We'll see.
It's hard to choose just a few songs to perform. How do you do that?
It'll be hard. I mean, it'll be a combination of, you know, what I really love doing and also what I think people want to hear. But I want to try and be a little bit more flexible with the set list this time round. So, you know, it won't just be a copy and paste kind of thing. Hopefully there'll be a bit of fluidity in it. Go listen to my album. It's out on the 23rd, is it? 23rd. There you go. 23rd of January. Yeah, getting really close now. Yeah, sending loads of love. Go and have a listen if you want.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too.